Hey yo, what's up? It's your boy Hey Kid 05. This is my recording for episode 10 in my series The Spoken Word. So, today I wanted to talk with you about anger and how it can affect your family and people around you. Now, for what seems like to be a while now, I've been recording videos. I'm trying to record as many as possible. I've been very busy, you know, with trying to, get back in school and everything like that. So at least I'm actually doing something with my time. So um, today, today I was walking down the street, and I started to observe, a family, and while they were walking down the street, and I was looking at this family. I was noticing that they really weren't paying attention to their kids. They weren't paying attention to each other, and it made me stop and think. Why is it that why do we have most African American families right now who really aren't paying attention to each other and not paying attention to their kids, and are always so angry all the time? Why are people always so angry? So I stopped, and I just thought that I would share a little bit of information with you guys. Now, I'm a family type person. I love my family. My family comes first before anything in my life. You know, but if I have an opportunity to actually do something with my life, as far as like help out other families and help out other people with their families and everything, I'm going to do that. I'm going to take that opportunity to do that. But there's more to it than just, offering advice and stuff like that. I would like to take advantage of some charities where I can, go and try to talk to people. I would like to be a counselor maybe one day in my life. But I know right now the only thing I can do is to continue to record these videos and hope that someone else other than, the normal people who usually watch my videos will start watching them. I will be recording some other videos besides just my spoken word series. I'm going to try to record maybe some videos on how to use certain computer software and stuff like that, because I do know how to use computer software. I'm computer savvy. So, but I thought that maybe when I looked at this family, I thought maybe, okay, it's hot. It's a sunny day today. It's like 90 something degrees. Maybe they just didn't feel like being bothered. But I don't think that was it, because there's always something underneath the surface besides what you're just seeing on top of the surface, I'm a type of person that doesn't usually get that angry. I like to stop and rationalize everything before I start getting angry. Now I know no one is actually going to take the time to sit there and be like, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do my homework on everything. No, I'm no brainiac. I'm not a certified genius. I don't have a degree in education where it says, oh, I'm super smart. No, my IQ is not that high, but I'm not stupid either. The one thing I do know is that it comes to common sense with some things. If you see certain people acting a certain way to each other, you got to understand, you just don't behave that way. If your kids should never be walking by themselves. You're supposed to go up there to your kids and make sure they're with you at all times. So a lot of people get angry about a lot of things. They tend to think that, okay, I am going to be 100% angry about this all the time. Sometimes people come in the house angry just from work. They take their anger out on their kids. They take their anger out on their wives, on their wife. They take their anger out on their brothers, their sisters, their mother, their father, animals. It doesn't really matter. Anger is a very dangerous thing. And sometimes people use their anger to get what they want. They tend to think, okay, I knocked something over. I knocked somebody over the head. Then there you go. The problem is solved. Not everything can be solved by violence. If Martin Luther King can solve most of his life through nonviolence. Why can't we? Why can't we be like Dr. Martin Luther King and solve our issues through nonviolence? I'm not saying go out there and with your picket signs and all that other stuff either. Maybe we need to stop, sit down, and talk to one another and actually try to work a situation out without just constantly using our fists and turn it into a confrontation. I used to spend most of my teen life angry all the time. I was angry, period. There was things I've done with my life that I wish I could turn back. You know? But the thing is, you don't get a second chance. You don't. Most people be like, okay, well, a second chance is you get another opportunity to get your life together. That's not necessarily a second chance. What I mean by a second chance is a chance to go back and keep yourself from doing that in the first place. You don't get that. There's no time machine to life. The only time machine you got is the fact that time keeps moving forward. And that's what you got to do. I usually don't share this story, but I feel like it might bless somebody one day. I remember my first girlfriend, and I met her on the job when I was working. I'm not going to give the name where, and I'm not going to give her name. But I was working, and my mom came up there, because she started hearing rumors about me doing something on a job I wasn't supposed to be doing. And when she came there, I was angry. I got real angry because I was kicked out the house. She told me if I don't clean up my room, if I don't help take care of the house, if I don't help in the house, then she want me out. So I said, okay, I'll go stay with my girl tonight. I was gonna do that. Maybe, I know most fellas, you go stay with your girl, yo. You know how that is. It's gonna lead to a couple things, man. You hoping that it do. One thing leads to another. You get it in. Y'all both up there making animal noises. You know what I'm talking about. But that was my intentions, was to go and stay with her and hoping that it leads to sex. But then when my mom came up there, I was a little shocked. And I was mad because you're not going to stand in my way with this. You told me leave the house. I'm doing what you said. I'm leaving the house. I have somewhere to stay tonight. Why are you bothering me? It was a real shocker to me that she came up there. So she came up there and she started telling me, come on, let's go. And then that's when I said, my anger got the best of me and I pulled out a knife. She lunged at me and I went to put the knife at her neck with the intention to cut her. I went to put it at her neck with the intention to cut her. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. I stopped. And before my anger pushed me that far that I was going to take someone's life, I stopped. And I knew I couldn't do it. So anger caused you to do some really dumb stuff. And in most African American families, anger is the one thing that leads us to not having togetherness. A husband could come in from work and he could be real mad because of the guys on his job just, teasing him, he not getting the amount of hours he wants, he not getting the right pay. And he take it out on his kids and his wife. Next thing you know, that's a domestic violence. You beating your wife in front of your kids because you angry. People, we need to get rid of all this anger. The Bible says in James that we need to be slow to anger. Slow to anger. So that means if we need to be slow to, we need not to be angry all the time. I don't remember a time where, I could actually, well, nowadays I can, but back then I couldn't sit down with my parents and I couldn't talk with them because I was so angry all the time. I don't know what I was angry about. I don't know what drove me to anger, but I was angry all the time. And it got the best of me. And it's not that I don't, it's not that I don't, let me put it to you like this. I'm not saying that you can't get angry. But what I'm saying is the fact that anger doesn't have to be the only tool to give you understanding. People use anger for a lot of things. They use anger to try to get back at people. They use anger to try to, get back at their friends. Oh, I'm gonna be a vengeful type person, so I'm gonna beat you up. My best friend, I remember one time I was sitting at home. I was chilling. I just came from my house, from my friend's house, smoking a little bit of weed. I was chilling with him, and I remember him coming to my house, and he said, "Yo, I need to borrow your gun." Now, if anyone knows me, they know the whole story that happened with that, because that was after I moved from Virginia. But he asked me to borrow my gun. I had already gotten rid of it. And I told him, I said, "Why?" He said, "I got jumped." I told him, I said, "Why do you need it? Why?" He was planning on getting revenge and doing something dumb and going back after them. I said, "Look, you just gotta be careful next time. Don't go out there and try to strike them and become like them. Don't do that." I told him that I had 2 times I could have went to jail. And them 2 times, I'd be sitting in prison right now. Life can lead you to do some stupid stuff. Anger can lead you to do some stupid stuff. I live my life by God's word and by the word of the Bible. I'm not going to do something stupid and let my anger get the best of me. And I believe that African American families need to do the same thing and not let their anger get the best of them. Let's be more God-centered families and less anger-centered families. Let's get rid of our pride, our anger, and the thing that makes us to be the stereotypical black man. And let's be the black man that God called us to be. Be the head and not the tail, the above and not beneath. Be the one that's blessed walking in, the one that's blessed walking out. And I don't mean to be super spiritual right now, but that's just what it is. You need to understand each other. We need to be more God-centered. And in most of my life, I've noticed that as I've gotten away from the anger and as I've gotten away from the bitterness and all that from my life, that I've started to be more positive. If you say you don't need to be God-centered, then be positive-centered. Be more of a positive person. Be a positive role model to your kids. Positive role model to your wife. Be a positive role model to the people around you. Don't be so angry all the time. I will be recording episode 11. I just am waiting for a sign for the next thing I should talk about. But I'm hoping that maybe from the experience that I've had in life that it might help somebody someday. I can't tell people what they should do with their life. I can only advise you. Thank you for spending just this little bit of time with me. Just for me to try to educate and help out the world. If I can make a total 360-degree turn for positive, why can't you? Let's be a better us, people. Let's be a better people. Let's do this not just for ourselves, but for our kids and for others, so they can learn to be a better person.